Hi everybody, time for another story. So just like last week rather, I think this one is probably a little bit more difficult than usual, but hopefully since you guys are not at school too often you find this interesting. It's called Theory of Fishing by Maria Beard, so that's the author. Illustrations by Peter Lowell. Oh, it's the same illustrator as last week. Cool. So let's go along to the first page of the story. Dad came home one night with 2 brand new fishing rods, some big sharp hooks, and some fancy lures. He had a packet of traces, 2 flash reels, some sinkers, 2 rolls of nylon, and a gaff. In the last parcel was a video called How to Catch Fish, a hand net, and a huge bucket to put fish in. Whoa, look at these words here. A trace, a flash reel, sinkers, gaff. I don't know what they are. I assume that they're types of lures, and those are things that you put at the end of the on the end of the fishing rod to attract the fish. That's what I assume. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys have got dads or mums that like to go fishing, and you don't know about this kind of thing. Well, let's see. All we need is the bait, said Dad. You and I are going to do some serious fishing this summer, son, he told Blair. We're going to catch enough fish to fill the freezer, and I want to be able to say that I've eaten so much fish I'm tired of it. This summer, I'll show you how a real fisherman fishes. Dad and Blair spent every night for a week getting the gear ready. They watched the videos several times, and Dad told Blair lots of fishing stories. Mum was warned to clear out the freezer. Katie and I were told to go away and find something else to play with. The gear is not a toy, and fishing is not a game for kids, Dad says. The night before the first fishing trip, Dad told us, "No kids on this fishing trip. Sorry. We'll be leaving very early because that's when the fish bite the best. We've got to be going out by a boat where it's deep to get the really big ones. You kids, stay home, heat the frying pan to cook the fish. Blair and I will be back late morning with breakfast for everyone and enough to fill the freezer too." I heard Dad and Blair leave very early. It was still dark, so I went back to sleep. We got up at 8 o'clock, and Katie and I went outside to play without breakfast. "We'll wait for the fish," we told Mum. By 10 o'clock, we were bored with our game and asked Mum if we could go fishing off the jetty. "We haven't got any fancy gear like Dad and Blair have," said Mum. "We've only got the old hand lines with blunt hooks, and they've taken all the bait." We didn't mind about the old gear, and we knew there were plenty of mussels on the side of the jetty for bait. Mussels are like a shellfish that you can eat. We were back by 11 o'clock. When Dad and Blair came home, "We've got the frying pan heating, Dad," we called. "Well, it'll be bacon and eggs, I'm afraid. We hardly got a bite." "We can cook the fish the children caught off the jetty with hand lines and mussels," suggested Mum. "They didn't get enough to fill the freezer, but there's plenty for everyone for breakfast." "Great," said Dad. "Then Blair and I have to make a trip to town. We need a fish finder, smaller hooks and different lures." So with all that fancy gear, Dad and his son still didn't manage to catch anything, whereas the girls with just old fishing lines managed to catch all the fish. You know, I think in my whole life I've never been fishing before. Have you guys? I think it sounds like an interesting thing to do. Perhaps you could tell me about it in the comments on Google Classroom if you've been fishing before. Anyway, hope to see you guys soon. Stay safe, be good, etc. See you soon. Bye-bye.